Welcome, everybody. Tonight we're doing a Teatime adventure. It is a RPG book written by Snowbright Studio. So the whole point of Teatime Adventure is kind of a cozy RPG. It's very much you're working together, you're making friends, you're learning about the town that you're in, you're learning about the environment that you're in, and kind of being kind to one another and solving problems together and coming up with creative solutions. It's not like combat heavy or conflict heavy centric kind of RPGs where the whole point is to, find the treasure, finish the dungeon, anything like that. I'm very excited. The story we're playing tonight is called The Lavender Spirit. But first of all, let's go around and introduce yourselves, your name, and the character you're playing. Antonio, you want to start?
Yeah. My name is Antonio Lasanta. I am playing Adam Elkhart, Hart. I'm a deerkin, so like an anthropomorphic deer dude. A very lovable, cozy himbo. And he's a lumberjack. Yeah.
My name is Hannah, and I'm playing Phineas Chung. He is a mailman. He's a finfolk, so he's like a fish guy. But yeah, he's just, hanging out and excited to learn new things and meet new people. So.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Sage Sarir. She's a fairy and an empathic healer. And she's just excited to fly around and help everyone.
I'm Andrew. I am playing Tibbs McFrumple. He is the town bartender, and he is well known for being a good listener, but he is also well known for being the town gossip.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And hello, I'm Catherine. I'm the GM tonight. I'll be doing all the NPCs, obviously, and kind of helping y'all through the little adventure. So, a little bit about Oakbend, the town that this story takes place in. We have the Verdant Isles, which are made up of several islands. There's various locations that Snowbright Studio has written out that are all very quaint, very sweet, very pretty. But we are going to be in the Umberleap along the northeast kind of side. Yes. And Oakbend is a village settled about 300 years ago, originally by the Hoptops, the frog ancestry. And it's kind of a mix of old and new, and there are people that arrive every year. That the societal fabric of the town changes a lot just because there are like older residents that have been here forever, but it's also very welcoming to newer residents and visitors, people coming through, all that kind of good stuff. And for this little story that we're doing, it's leading up to the Feasts of Flourish. And the Feast of Flourish is held each year to encourage and honor growth in the coming spring. People across the Isles kind of all celebrate the Feast of Flourish. And it's kind of like, as the days get longer, as the nights get shorter, as things start warming up, towns across the Verdant Isles all kind of gather and they share food and they share stories and they share just a really lovely night together to celebrate the spring and becoming anew. All right. So.
Sick.
Here we go.
So it is spring.
It's the beginning of spring, yes.
Beginning of spring, so end of winter.
It's like March.
Oh, okay.
But for us, current times, it's not March. So it's March.
Wait, current times, are you insinuating that these are progenitor humans?
No. I mean like in real life for us humans, currently.
Gotcha.
I like that. My 5-year-old's learning air quotes. Last night he was like, Dada, can you get my cars from upstairs, please?
Please.
Okay.
So anyway,
It's really
please.
So, like I said, this story is called The Lavender Spirit. And here's the little intro. You ready?
Yes.
At long last, winter has run its course, and the earth is ready to bloom once more. The Feast of Flourish nears, a time for gathering outside to sow, share, and celebrate. The villagers of Oak Bend look forward to this time of year for the promise of what is to come and the memories of what has come before. However, the pleasantness of this traditional holiday has been marred by a series of mysterious plantings. All across town, a strange crystalline flower has started blooming out of small mounds that have been appearing overnight. Where do these flowers come from, and how are they spreading so rapidly? Even worse, there's talk of a now restless spirit at work, and the village is considering if they can put their fears and concerns aside and still celebrate the Feast of Flourish, or will their fears get the better of them? And this adventure is about discovering and celebrating the history behind traditions, and even when the answers might confuse or scare us. And you guys all have the ability to help the villagers and work together to see if you guys can't solve or assuage some of their fears. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So, we open. A nice, warm spring breeze welcomes the morning in Oak Bend. Flowers bloom and the sun kind of creeps over the horizon of the distant mountains of like the different islands of the Verdant Isles that you can see. It's been rainy. The ground is like very primed for plant growth and to welcome new things. And Oak Bend itself is kind of the picture of vitality. But as each of you, probably familiar or residents of Oak Bend, either passing through or stories you've heard, each of you, as you are making your way to the town center, right here, Willow Park, you notice a group of villagers crowded around a small rock that's kind of next to a hill, a little tiny hill. That's the third one this week, grumps a snootling known as Bibbins. She gestures to the small mound of dirt where a long-stemmed flower is poking up from the earth. The flower bud is very tightly closed, but the crystals, small bones, and colorful agates are strewn around the base of the flower. Curious indeed, Bibbin continues. Seems the work of vandals, rascals. These hijinks won't stand, especially as the feast draws closer. People are starting to talk. Something strange is up. Folks are nervous about leaving their own houses. Torin even said something about, now, you didn't hear this from me, but a ghost. Maybe we need to reschedule the feast. What a shame. I always look forward to the singing. What would any of you like to do? Also, a note on the skills. If they're not self-explanatory, let me know and I can clarify any of them if you like.
So, you said bones are around the flower as well?
Mm-hmm. Bones, crystals, and like colorful pieces of something.
So, okay. And you said there's a small crowd of people gathered around?
Yes.
Okay. Man, it's so hard to know what to do when like there's not like a goblin with a sword.
I'd also like to say daydreaming as a skill, if you guys are really stuck on something, whether it's now, in the future, on any kind of puzzle piece, if you roll high enough on a daydreaming check, you essentially get like a GM push in the right direction.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're all just sort of heading into this town center.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I think Phineas is gonna like engage. Just gonna run into the crowd. Just be like, well, dang. I'd be mighty sad if this what is it called? Feast of Flourish was canceled, especially in such a nice place such as Oak Bend. What seems to be the problem here?
Bibbins turns around. You can tell that Bibbins is like very clearly in charge of the situation and like the way that the conversation is going. She turns around and looks at you and, are you new here?
Well, I don't know about new, but I pass through here every once in a while, delivering mail, and I like show off my mailbag.
Oh, okay. We do love a good mail carrier here. As you can see, there's this very mysterious thing that just popped up. I'm not sure what it means. I don't think any of us know what it means. But, you know, there's been talk of ghosts. There's been talk of some restless spirit. And no one's really sure where these things keep popping up from.
Mind if I take a look?
Please do.
Yeah, I don't know what the skill is, but...
That would be a noticing check.
Okay. Noticing, alright.
Or gardening. You can also do gardening if you'd like.
Okay, I think I'm better at noticing. So that is a 11.
So close.
Sorry, 12.
Oh,
It is 12 because it's +3. Yeah, sorry.
perfect.
Hey.
That's exactly what you needed. So you crouch down, and Phineas is kind of like muttering to himself, pulls out of like a little note that you carry of like all of like your little notes from around the different aisles in your travels. And you can tell that this planting is very new, almost like it happened last night. And
it was planted, it didn't just like spring up.
yeah,
Okay.
because the dirt around it is wet, even though you know that it didn't rain last night in this area. And you can kind of deduce that this has been deliberately planted, and the bones and the crystals kind of seem haphazardly placed around it.
Yeah, I will share that information with the crowd.
So Tibbs walks up to Bibbins. Bibbins, you don't really believe all this ghost nonsense, do you? Sorry, I'm doing a voice.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic.
I love it.
Bibbins looks at you, and she knows you.
Yeah. Bibbins, we go way back. Like, spill the tea.
And Bibbins is like, Tibbs, look. I wouldn't say that I believe in a spirit, but Sala and Torin have allegedly spotted one. We all know how Torin can be.
Torin. Yeah.
Misby over at the library has had some whisperings of something that happened. And the Finfolk kids, Anna and Sol. Apparently, the kids have witnessed something strange going on in their own gardens.
Well, we all know kids have big imaginations.
That is true. Especially Anna and Sol. Sometimes they've just got their head in the clouds.
I think Adam, I'm just kind of standing on the edge. I'm like holding a big stack of like lumber that I was supposed to be like delivering somewhere. But I think this has drawn my attention, and being so like kind of behind everyone, so slow. I'm kind of just like, I hear that, and I think Adam says, but kids have such a way of seeing things that we don't, and maybe we should trust their judgment.
Wow, what an astute observation, my little deerkin friend.
He nods. And then I think I'm gonna look at the bones and try and like see like if I can tell what kind of bones they are.
Tibbs goes up there with them. Yeah. Tibbs is interested in what the
give
bones
me
are.
a noticing check. And as you're saying this, you kind of hear murmurs around the crowd, like kind of agreeing with you. Well, not crowd exactly. There's probably like 7 or 8 people, but they're all kind of agreeing with you as you say, like, children do have a way of noticing things.
That would be a 6.
A 6?
Yes.
You crouch down, you look at these bones, and you're like, ooh, I think these are antlers.
Yeah, Adam looks and he just kind of gulps and he like kind of just like wipes some tears from his eyes, and then he turns around and he goes, something terrible has happened here.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should all take a moment of silence. And then he's gonna lower his head. He doesn't check to wait for anybody, he just lowers his head.
I rolled a 22 on noticing it.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
So, Tibbs, you go up with Adam. You also crouch down, and like as Adam like clearly has no idea what's going on, and is just like, you have no idea why he's emotional, what got him. You're like, oh, these look like they were like washed, that they're like a part of some sort of offering, maybe. It's very doubtful to you that like any harm came about to this creature that the bones belong to.
But we can't tell what kind of creature.
No.
Are they like small?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So not like humanoid like us.
No.
Okay.
Could you imagine?
Starting off strong.
Okay.
So Sage, in her role as empathic healer, is concerned about the emotional state of everyone in the crowd, and would like to take the opportunity to talk to the people, and maybe even talk specifically to the people who have witnessed spirits or disturbing sights, which would be maybe using daydreaming skill.
Yeah, let's do that. Give me a daydreaming check.
Okay. Got
9 + 3.
12.
So the people that Bibbins suggested are Sala and Torin, Misby, and the Finfolk kids. You know that none of them are here. You know that Misby is a librarian, probably at the library. The Finfolk kids, probably out exploring. And Sala and Torin are probably somewhere close to their cottage, which is along the river, like the south side.
I would like to go to talk to Misby at the library.
Library?
Looks closer.
I think I'll join you. I have a package to deliver there.
Great.
Adam looks up and he goes, "Oh, we're leaving. Yeah, I have to drop off these bales of lumber and I maybe be able to do that on the way there. But I'm pretty curious about what happened here. So he's gonna join."
Yeah. Tibbs just goes up to Bibbins. Bibbins, is nice chatting. I hope everything turns out okay. I'm gonna go with them. Just see if we can figure anything out.
That makes sense to me. I hope you guys report back for whatever you find.
Looks like we got a nice little crew.
Adam nods. He looks at you and he says, I think those might have been deer antlers.
Yeah, they could have been, but
He starts crying again.
But maybe they weren't antlers. Maybe they were something else.
You're right. Maybe.
They looked like they were from a small creature. So
He starts crying even harder.
unless a small creature with antlers.
Oh. He shakes his head.
Okay, so you guys are walking to the library?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
It's like dead ahead, right?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are walking along, and in that little interaction, it's kind of like mid-morning now. You guys were sitting there chatting for a little bit. You can see as you guys leave, Bibbins is kind of like shushing people and like shuffling them away of like, let's worry about it later. We'll figure out something to do. And you guys walk to the library. So you've got, as you guys are walking up to the library, there are people and like students coming in and out of the library. If it's not like an off period, maybe they have like half days, that kind of stuff. You can browse, as you guys enter, you can see that there are like rows and rows of bookshelves where you can browse everything from pamphlets to tomes to dictionaries to history, all this kind of stuff. And there are some books that like look so stuffed on the shelves. They're like spilling over and kind of like even in the aisle, not even like shelved put in the shelves. They're kind of everywhere. And if any of that was bothering the librarian Misby, you wouldn't know it. Misby sees you guys walk in, and they almost like Misby's a Florida fairy, so they kind of like almost float bound to like meet you guys because they're so excited. And they've got an armful of books. Ton of dark hair that's like kind of wrapped in a super, super brightly colored scarf, and a bunch of like wooden bangles everywhere and like clicky clacking as they kind of hover over you guys. Salutations and the greatest of welcomes to our library. May I interest you in something from our gardening collection or perhaps a cozy storybook? We have all kinds of books, in fact. In fact, I just got in this one, and as they're getting more and more excited, they drop some of the books that they're holding and they kind of fall onto the ground. And Ms. B hits the ground and starts trying to pick them up. And as they do, there are a handful of pages that kind of scatter on the floor. And they say, "Oh, bother. All this reshelving. I have no idea which books these pages go to. Would you mind?" And they gesture to the loose pages as they continue collecting books that they drop from their arms. And as you guys kind of notice the fallen loose pages, another student runs past, takes a tumble. Ms. B's like, "Oh my goodness, one moment please." And Ms. B heads over to check the student. But, ooh, you guys, there are 6 pages.
I hope they have pictures.
That kind of scatter about.
Well, not this one.
There's one from a cookbook, one from an old seed catalog, one from a personal journal, it looks like, one from a book of old Oak Bend dances, one from a songbook, and a page to a book that you can't really tell what it is.
Yeah, Adam literally grab it. Like, I just immediately see the one that has the most pictures on it, and I pick it up, and it's the seed one, and I'm really excited because I love gardening and sustainability.
Wow, it looks like some of these words have been emphasized.
This one says nourish.
That's very good,
So-
Adam. Thank you.
So Was this everything was this just the loose pages that fell?
These were the loose pages that fell from the books
Ah.
in Bisbee's arms, yeah.
So I immediately go and Tibbs goes up to Misby and says, Misby, are you okay?
Bisbee looks at you and is like, shush, shush, Tibbs, I'm taking care of this child. The child is just like full on crying. Like having an absolute meltdown because they hit their head while they were like sprinting through the library. And Bisbee's like, now what have I told you? You can't run while you're in the library, especially when you're carrying something heavy. It could be hurtful, it could be dangerous. And they're like lecturing this little child.
I look
Softly and kindly, of course.
I look at Misby and I ask, Miss Misby, do you need help putting these back on the shelf and in order?
Yeah, if you guys could just figure out, I guess, what they are, that would be helpful.
Can I roll something to see if this has any significance to our crystal flower?
Yes. You can give me a noticing or a minding details check.
That's even worse. Wow, that's an 11.
So, Phineas, they kind of crouch down, look at the pages. These are some pretty pictures that somebody has put in on some of these pages.
Yeah. Cool.
Misby,
Just starts gathering them up, trying to be hopeful.
do I need a library card if I want to keep this?
If you want to keep it,
Or
you can't really keep it. That's not a library.
Can I borrow it?
You can borrow it. That's fine. We can check something out for you.
Okay, wonderful. I really like this one about seeds.
Also, anybody else that wants to give me a noticing or minding details check.
Come on, Adam.
Come on, Adam.
I'm noticing.
+1.
I got a 19 on noticing.
Okay.
I got a...
And while I'm kind of noticing, I'm also just singing this song. The brick babbles on, overstone and sand.
Phineas is like body drumming.
Babbles on, we walk hand in. You guys know this one?
No, but you're killing it, friend.
Riverside sitting with
You should
you.
become a professional.
Oh, thanks.
I got a 13.
You got a 13.
I don't know. From this little seed catalog.
Adam,
Minding details. That was
as you're looking at this page from the seed catalog, you're like, wow, tomato would sound delicious right now.
my stomach growls.
Tibbs, you got a 19?
Yes.
So with that, you notice the highlighted words
I
on
say,
each of the
encourage
pages
spring crops. What's on that one?
is the same color and the same consistency as on all the pages, and it matches the personal journal used that somebody used a flower to write their signature. So like any of the notes on the pages and the highlights match the personal journal.
Okay.
So like that. Encourage. Nourish.
I think that page was just talking about like they wanted to build a treehouse one day.
Spring. Crops. Flourish.
Cool. Is Misby still lecturing the child? Kindly.
Misby is kind of walked off, like
Okay.
with the child, kind of like helping them to, not the nurse in the library, but to like the little emergency clinic. Misby kind of walks away, is preoccupied with this child that took a little tumble, wants to make sure that the kid's okay. And you guys have now the knowledge that the writing and the highlights match the personal journal, and you have these pages that Misby left you with.
So when you say the writing and the highlights match the personal journal.
The personal journal is the only one that's handwritten.
Okay.
The words that are all highlighted match essentially the same kind of ink that was used for the journal.
So, like, all these words are different except for the highlighted. Like, so if I look at this song, everything's printed except for the word spring. Looks like.
I'm
this
going to give you
handwriting.
this one because I know what kind of player you are. You're thinking too hard.
Oh, that's fine. No, I'm just trying to understand why they match, like what matches about them. I guess.
So what did you get? A 19?
Yeah.
I'm noticing. You can essentially infer that whoever wrote the personal journal was very intentional about choosing these words in these other books.
Okay, that's what I was trying to understand, is if they like actually highlighted the words, okay, or if they like defaced and like added these words. Okay, that's all I was trying to understand.
And the personal journal was written while the lake gate was being built, which means it might be historical.
Okay.
Right?
Very, very interesting. Okay.
Sure, this is a good point, Serge.
All right. So what would you guys like to do?
Sage still would really like to talk to Bisbee whenever Bisbee is available. And she would like to express her concern or her empathy for Bisbee's distress about what they saw, and would like to hear more about what happened.
Okay. Do you guys want to all kind of wait to see what Misby says?
Sure. I'll head over. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys kind of gather around a table with plenty of strewn about books in the library, and maybe about 30 minutes later, Misby gets back, and they see you guys still sitting there, and they're like, "Oh my dear goodness, I am so sorry that I kept you waiting." And they like run off to the front desk, and they come back, and they have a plate of cookies for you guys as an apology for making you wait.
Are these vegan?
They are vegan.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my jeez.
They are also a home recipe. I've been toying with it a little bit. I hope you guys enjoy them.
How sustainable are these? I'm gonna eat one.
This is entirely
Misby looks at you
unnecessary.
and, "Are you new? I feel like I've maybe seen you, but I don't recognize you."
I've been to Oak Bend, a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4 on delivery. I get commissioned for my logs quite a bit. I bring them from the woods where I'm from, where I have my ranch, and I come into town and drop them off sometimes. But today, the town seems to be in a bit of a tizzy, so I've been a little sidetracked. And I pat my big log pile next to me. I say, but I am determined to get these delivered at some point.
Well, that's very admirable. Welcome back to Oak Bend, and I hope you enjoy your time.
Thanks. And thanks for the
Of course.
brain.
Are you staying for the feast?
Yeah. If there's vegan options.
Of course there's vegan
What?
options.
And Misby, I believe I have a package for you. And I just bring out like a giant book with like a stamp on it.
Misby is overjoyed. They take the book from you, like holding it very delicately, and they like kind of walk off to another table, and they just like drop it in another pile. And like they come back, and they have like a little like note, like a almost like a journalist notebook, and they're like kind of scribbling in it, and they're like, "Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you again."
Lovely to see you too. Always one of my favorite stops.
They hand you another cookie.
Misby, I heard that you witnessed something unsettling.
Oh goodness. Are you talking about the flowers?
What did you see about the flowers?
Well, I don't want to exaggerate, but there's just something suspicious going on, and I'm a little worried. I don't want to jump to conclusions and say that there's a spirit haunting the town or anything, but the Feast of Flourish, something suspicious going on, mysterious flowers popping up everywhere that no one can recognize. It's a little unsettling, if you ask me.
Well, I certainly validate your concerns. That is unsettling.
As you say that, you see like Ms. B like visibly relaxes a little bit, and they're like, thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a busy day.
You're doing great, Miss B.
They tear up a little bit.
Does the library have a fireplace?
Yeah, of course.
I pick up a bunch of wood and I hand it to her and I say, "This is a gift to you for being so hospitable."
Ms. B takes it from you, and they fully start crying at that point.
I start crying. And I eat another cookie.
She hands you another one, or they hand you another one as you eat one cookie, and they're like, please.
Thank you so much. I hope the wood, serves its purpose.
I'm sure it will. Thank you so much.
Now, Ms. B, how many flowers have you seen to make you so concerned?
Let's see.
Tibbs offers her, or offers them his handkerchief.
They drop some of the wood in their arms as they take the handkerchief and they're dabbing, and they don't even notice that some of the wood is tumbled. Ms. B kind of thinks about it for a little bit, and they're like, how many? I don't really know how many. I've seen definitely more than 5. Certainly less than 30.
It's a mighty helpful margin.
But they just started popping up everywhere about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
No one knows where they're coming from.
So they're not just in the center of the town. They're
No, I've seen some around the library. I've seen some over by the greenhouse. I've seen some, by Sala and Torrens and the Finfolk kids, the little raucous ones that are always making noise and trouble. But we love them all the same because they're very sweet little babies.
Has anybody tried to prune them? Do they have any sort of seed thing?
Give me a daydreaming check.
Wow.
That's just going to be my go-to when I can't decide.
That's a 13.
Miss B kind of pauses and, now I would want to cut something down if it's living. If it's a beautiful little flower, we don't know what it is, and that's a little worrying, but I'm not sure I'm at the point where I'd want to cut it.
Well, is it pollen? Is any pollen or anything come off of it? Do they seem to be growing more? At what speed?
Well, they certainly keep popping up. I'm not sure if it's pollen. I'm not sure if they're planted. But each one has the crystals, has the little bones, and pops up in a little mound of dirt somewhere new.
Would it be common knowledge where Sala and Torin and the Finfolk kids live if I'm from Oaken Bend? Or should I roll?
Yes,
Okay.
for sure. Sala and Torin.
Sorry if I cut you off, by the way. Was there
Oh, no,
something-
you
okay.
didn't. Adam has no leads.
Let's see if I can find exactly where they live. Yeah, they are just kind of along the south side of the Good Fortune River, in some cottages by the bigger bridge.
Oh, very close.
Which direction's north?
Up.
This
Cool.
is the south side.
Yes.
South side of town along the river?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like.
I
in
thought
these
you said
cottages.
south side of the river. I was like,
I might have. I definitely meant the south
okay,
side
so
by the river.
so they both, Sala and Torin and the Finfolk family live. in
The
just
Finfolk
house.
kids,
Finfolk kids, okay.
you know where they live, they're in cottages kind of further that way. But the two of them are kind of mischievous and they're rarely found out. And you know that because you're the town listener. You got an ear to the gravel. I don't know if that makes sense, but in this world it does.
Sure.
Well, sounds like we should talk to some other folk who might have some idea of what's going on. We can take these pages with us so we can keep figuring out what this is.
Miss B still has the chopped wood in their arms. And they're like, oh, please. And you know what? Someone give me a daydreaming check.
Sage is proficient in daydreaming.
Oh, I got an 18.
Okay.
Finally, I rolled high.
I didn't do a good job.
I was about to be like, nat 20?
No.
I got a 14.
Fully.
So I got 14 to 18.
Okay. Phineas, you know paper.
Oh, yeah.
You're a mail carrier. You've seen many a piece of paper
Very much.
in your time.
Yeah.
You notice the page from the missing book that doesn't have a word highlighted is actually like the page that was probably ripped out with it is also missing, and you don't know where it is.
I share that information with the group.
It's this one that doesn't have highlights.
I'm curious.
As you kind of point that out, Ms. B looks at you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A missing book, maybe? Oh my gosh, it has to be found. I would be devastated if an entire book went missing.
The pages are cool.
And they say, here, take these, and if you find the book, they're all yours. She hands you a brightly painted set of cat eye, bright red spectacles with, and there's like the glasses chain around it that have like rainbow colored wooden beads along them. And you can recognize immediately that these are a pair of magical glasses. And
Getting accessories in their veins.
when you know that when you put these on, the world turns a shade of rosy pink, and you get +1 to your wits score.
Wow.
Phineas would look great in a pair of cat eye glasses.
Ms. B's like, perform like and function.
Why, thank you kindly. I will treasure them for the rest of my days. And also, I look mighty dashing with my little mustache.
Ms. B blushes a little. Is there any other questions you guys would like to ask Ms. B about these pages?
Do you know what book? Do you know what book?
Ms. B kind of looks around at all the books and is like,
No, I'm sorry. That might have been my question. I'll keep an eye out.
Oh, I do have one last question. Do you know anything about this moonlight stone?
Moonlight Stone. Let's find out if Ms. B knows.
So this is essentially a little story about a deerkin couple that settled on a river after trying to find a place to live. And they were told to seek out the voices of those who had come before, to ask for guidance, and to take a special gift to the moonlight stone on the hill and ask your question. They brought tortillas and spiced sauce, joined hands, and asked those who came before them what best to plant in their garden. The glow of the moon illuminated the stone, and it's cut off.
Ms. B knows, just from the extensive reading, they read every book that they accept into the library. Even if not kept super organized, they have read quite a bit. And they think a little, and they're like, I remember some mention of like a moonstone that shone brightest at night. I think maybe it was twilight. I'm not sure.
Well, thank you for thinking about it.
Of course. Can I help you with anything else?
I'm curious what time of day it is.
By now it's probably like just after lunchtime, you guys all kind of filled up on cookies.
We've been in the library so long, I lost track of time.
Esby, do you mind if I take a cookie to go?
I would be offended if you didn't.
Alright.
And Misby pulls out Tupperware and starts sticking very sustainable Tupperware, like covered in beeswax. It's more like wrapped cloth instead of like plastic Tupperware. And they start packaging and tying up cookies for each of you.
You need to give me one of those.
Misby's like, oh my goodness, they're so easy to make. You take any cloth, any clean cloth that you want, you cover it in beeswax, let the beeswax dry, and just stick to itself.
Tibbs puts it in his purse. Takes it.
Yep.
Anything else?
Very cool. I think we're headed to the cottages.
I pick up my lumber.
Misby thanks all of you guys very deeply for coming by and checking in on them. And pauses for a second and says, if you figure out anything, let me know. I'm curious. And they kind of wander off to go check on their other books and stuff.
Absolutely will do.
Okay, bye, Misby.
Bye,
y'all.
Misty.
Bye, Misby.
Bye, Misty.
Right, where would you guys like to go?
Up to the...
Sala and
Should we go
Torin?
to the cottages?
Yeah, we can head to the cottages.
Sala and Torin, yeah.
Alrighty.
As we walk by the mayoral manor, I spread some gossip about how poor the mayor's moisturizing routine is. He's another hot top, like Tibbs. Oh, Mary, his skin is so dry. Ugh. I wish he would use moisturizer more often.
I use moisturizer on my hooves.
Oh, that's really smart.
It's pretty necessary.
Yeah.
I use moisturizer anytime I'm out of water.
Oh, yeah, you're more moist than me.
Yeah. I take some moisturizer on like
The effects of the sun, I've heard that they're proven to be harmful.
As you guys walk by in like the mayoral manor, and Tibbs is kind of like starting gossip yet again. Mayor Blinken Montesquieu, who is also a hop top, and you guys residents will be aware that the mayor is a transgender man. Kind of walks by, hears Tibbs as they're like ready to like go start gardening and stuff for the day and like taking care of mayoral business, and is like, Tibbs, it's always lovely to see you. And they hand you a loaf of fresh baked bread, and they kind of hop away.
I would his skin did seem pretty dry.
Thank you.
That's my only point.
As we're walking, I'm like tossing lumber into people's yards. That's what
Yeah,
I
I'm
do.
dropping off mail.
Yeah.
So I do have a job.
Look at Phineas and I say, this is life. We're doing great work. Servicemen.
Couldn't imagine doing nothing else.
Deliver.
Of course, you have a mighty large burden.
I look at
While I
your
have a
sack.
little satchel.
Well, I look at your sack and I say, not gonna lie, that seems like it's a pain on the shoulders.
You know what? It really can be, especially when I get it wet. It'll get really heavy,
Oh,
and I
God.
gotta switch shoulders, to keep the wear even.
Wet
But I
paper.
get bi-weekly massages, and that's really the key.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
You have an umbrella?
Of course, yeah. Rain, sleet, sun, or shine. Mail is always delivered.
Mail is always delivered, just like
Sunshine.
lumber. And I toss another.
Okay. As you guys are approaching Sala and Torrens, their small cottage along the edge of the river is lit with lanterns hanging from trellises that line their very beautiful garden path. The back of the cottage faces out towards the river, and Sala, a barrel-chested snootling, is on the front porch drinking a cup of tea, and he stands and excitedly says, "Oh my goodness, welcome. We weren't expecting visitors today." And then he calls to his husband, Torin, "Bring out the extra cups. We have company." Do you guys say anything before?
I'm just gonna.
Oh, now that's not necessary. We just wanted to stop by because we had a couple questions.
Oh. And then as Sala kind of scoffs at you, like, "Oh, please." Torin arrives, and they are a spindly puffwing in a wheelchair, and they have a serving tray of tea ready for you guys. And they roll out, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, please, please." And they're handing you guys all tea.
Well, I'm just being spoiled left and right today.
And they say,
I bring out the loaf of bread that the mayor
There you go.
and add it to the spread.
Love that.
Torin gets very excited. They look at Sala, and they're like, "Oh my goodness. Would you please go get a bread knife so we can properly cut this for our guests?" And Sala, like, happily gets up to go help his husband and goes inside to get a bread knife. And Torin looks over at you guys. "Are you here about the flowers?"
Yes.
Fortunately, yes.
Just sets me off, right? Nothing right about it. No, not at all. What good comes from someone skulking about after dark, planting gardens, and doesn't seem right for the seeds, nor the soil. But look, I mean, it is growing just fine, and I swear I saw something unusual. I think Bivens might be right. The feast might have to be delayed this year, or even worse, canceled.
Well, don't say that. That's why I switched with a coworker to get my route to Oak Bend during this time. I always like to celebrate the feast in this town. What was so upsetting?
Residents would know that Torin is a writer who has quite the imagination. Somebody give me a personality check, please.
It's a 12.
Same.
I guess I'll try. Why not? That's a 10. Flat.
Still don't see personality. Oh, okay. I have 17.
Oh!
Or did I do that right?
Yeah, you did it. So
Plus 1? Okay.
So Torin looks at Phineas and is like, looks at Sage and like feels your warmth and like concern for them. And he looks at you and is like, you can tell that he's very embarrassed to admit this. I did in fact see a lavender spirit planting those flowers in the middle of the night.
That is very exciting, or very... What made you concerned about seeing the lavender spirit?
It's just suspicious, you know? And any reports any of you are writing, or any tales you decide to tell, keep my name out of it, please. I don't want anyone thinking that old Torin believes in ghosts, all right? Miss B over at the library thinks that they saw something too. But if you can prove it was a ghost, though, I'd be very, very pleased. I might even write it down in one of my stories. Do you know that I have a collection of pearls I dove for that I've been keeping for a rainy day? You could pick your favorite if you get proof of that ghost.
Ooh.
So, as Torin's saying this, Tibbs is just like nibbling on a piece of bread, like visibly upset that someone's asking him to keep a secret.
Torin rolls his eyes at you.
What made you think it was a ghost?
Oh, the way that it moved looked like it was just fluttering through the night. And it was this purple, almost like draped looking spirit. And I don't know. The way that it moved just wasn't natural.
Do you have one of the flowers in your yard? In your garden? Is that why you saw it? Or was it just like around here?
Well, Sala and I live a semi-retired life. Sometimes we just like sitting out the back, and the other night I came outside right before Sala and saw something darting through the night. And then the next morning, lo and behold, there's a flower outside of our garden. Right where the lantern's at the end of the path.
Should we look at it?
Can't hurt.
Torin gets back out, or Sala gets back out with the bread knife, and they look at Tibbs and they're like, "Of course, you're already picking at the bread." And they slice you off a proper piece and hand it to you.
Oh, thank you, Sala.
You're very welcome, Tibbs.
If y'all heard, especially you, Torin, I'm sure you've done lots of research for your writings, but have you heard of anything called a moonlight stone?
As you ask, you can see that Torin gets a little bit more embarrassed, and Sala looks down at him and is like, "Were you spinning tales again?"
Oh, no.
And kind of like laughs a little bit to himself. And he's like, "Don't mind Torin. He wants everything to be a story, It's one of the things that I love most about him."
I think it's an admirable quality.
And then he looks at you, Adam, and Sala's like, "Now, young man, are you what I think you are? Are you a lumberjack?"
Yeah.
Sala gets really excited because he is actually the town expert carpenter. And gets very excited and is like, "Oh my goodness, it's been a while since we've had a lumberjack come through town. How are you?"
I'm great. While this has all been going on, Adam has been like absent-mindedly whittling a like little figure of which one is it? Of Sala, of just like a snootling, and it's just kind of his fidget, and he just does it without thinking, and so now he like presents a little tiny little like gator. He's like, "I'm doing great."
Sala looks at you with your hand outstretched with a little figurine. You made it of Sala? You made it of Sala?
Yeah, in the vicinity. Yeah.
He is ecstatic. He gasps a little and then runs back inside. And you can hear kind of like rummaging around and kind of tumbling. And he comes out and he's like, "No, I made this years ago. And he holds out a little like wooden puzzle thing, like two pieces that are like interlocked but like fit together. And he's like, "I made this years ago. But I have plenty of other ones at this point. But it was one of the first that I made. And I'd love for you to have it." And he hands it to you.
I take it. I'm gonna look at it. The carpentry is magnificent.
He blushes.
Can I like play with it? Is that like you said it's like a puzzle type
Yeah,
thing?
give me a relish check. Or the arts, whichever one you'd like.
That is it's a 12.
You get pretty close a couple of times, and Sala's kind of watching you, like taking deep joy in like somebody else like having fun with his creation.
Yeah.
Torin is kind of like holding his hand and like really excited, like that his husband shared this with you. You don't quite get it.
Yeah.
And you know that this is going to take a little bit of practice, but it's going to be a source of great entertainment for you.
Great. Yeah, I put it in my my backpack. And I say, "Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was trying to get as close to your resemblance as possible. I hope it's
I think
flattering.
it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
And Sala kind of like is like, is there anything else that I can help with that Torin might have let y'all know or anything like that? And Torin kind of like sighs and is like, Sala, like, it was a ghost. And he's like, it's not that I don't believe you, sweetheart. It's just that you see what you want to see sometimes. And they kind of like bicker very lovingly back and forth in front of you guys as they're like goofing with each other. Like, did you or didn't you see a ghost?
Well, thank you kindly for your hospitality.
Of course, of course.
Wait. One more thing. How you mentioned that the spirit moved in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe it moved?
Sala kind of sighs a little bit and looks at Torin, and Torin like leans forward in their wheelchair, and he's like, "Now, it was the most uncanny thing." And you see Sala kind of like lean back a little bit and like move towards the chair, like further on the porch, as he knows his husband is about to go on a very long-winded explanation for something that is a very simple answer. And Torin is like, it seemed like it was hovering, but like it was also bounding through the night, and it was rippling, and a beautiful lavender color. It was almost like it was glowing, glowing from within, which is impossible unless you're a ghost.
Wow.
I mean, rule out the impossible, and what do you have left? The truth. And he says this with the deepest earnestness that you have ever seen somebody say.
Phineas nods sagely. Bars. Bars.
He's like, Phineas, right? You've delivered mail before.
That I have.
Phineas understands. Thank you. Thank you. And Saul is kind of like chuckling to himself as he like slices off another piece of bread for himself.
Oh, I do have one more question. Have you happened to see the Finfolk kids running around anywhere?
Torin?
Yeah. Today. In the last couple hours or so. I know they happen to scamper around all kinds of places throughout the day.
He says, I haven't seen them since yesterday, but I could have sworn that they were over by the closer to the winery, just north of the main square.
Okay.
Who
Yeah. I mean,
knows?
Wonder what they're
They're
doing
young,
over
spry
there.
little kids. They can move so fast.
Maybe they're
faster.
stealing grapes.
And he's like, you're right. And then he pulls out his notebook and like starts writing something down.
sick. Well,
Torin, thank you for sharing about your experience. And we promise to keep this to ourselves until we learn more.
He snaps his head up from his notes and he's like, thank you. I do appreciate that. Although what I saw is true, I don't need everybody knowing that. Old Torin saw a ghost. Until it's proven true.
I don't have a hat, so I'm just going to tip my glasses.
The rose glasses?
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the bread. It's a bit dry.
He takes the bread and dunks it in the tea and then keeps eating. I hope you enjoyed the tea.
Oh, tea was delicious.
Thank you again for the contraption. I look forward to unlocking all of its mysteries.
You see Sala like sitting on his chair behind him, and he like tears up a little bit. He like hand over the heart, like, young man, I look forward to hearing about it.
I tear up too.
Emotional guy, Adam. All right. Maybe is there anything of interest that we should stop on the way to the vineyard?
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
far
I
away.
missed that.
You guys
That's where
can give me a noticing check or a
I quit the last time I
Gardening
rolled
check.
this. Now I rolled a 5.
Or
I
what?
believe that's a
Gardening?
9.
I got a dirty 20.
Oh. You guys are just
On
kind of
gardening.
taking note of how many of these strange crystalline flowers there are. What did you get a dirty 20 on?
Gardening.
Gardening.
Mm.
As you guys are walking, with each flower that Adam sees, the thought starts forming and gets clearer and clearer with each additional of these flowers that you see. And you're like, these were planted. They were planted with a purpose. You don't know what that purpose is. And you remember somebody mentioning planting when you guys first arrived this morning to the square. But like, you feel it in your heart of hearts that they were planted. You don't know by who, and you don't know by what, but you know they were planted.
I relay this to everyone. Yeah. I think all of these flowers were planted here. Can I tell if it's like, it seems like intentional where they're planted, or is it all just random?
Give me a daydreaming check.
It's not good at daydreaming, which is ironic. That's a 6.
You can't tell.
So quick. So the lake gate. What's the point of these two gates, I guess, in the town? See the lake gate and the south gate. Is there a fence around the town? So one note mentions the lake gate being built.
Not really a fence, because that would be kind of disingenuous to the spirit of Umberleaf as a whole. But the gates are kind of. Give me a daydream check.
Or can I do a local lore?
Oh yeah, that's you. That works.
Not that I'm good at it. 17.
They essentially function as the announcement that you have arrived in Oakenbend. They're more a significance thing rather than like a keep out thing. Because that would go against the spirit of the town that you call home, of being exclusionary. You know that it's just like a bookmark to the end of the journey of newcomers, of visitors, of people looking to make a home. They're just like very, very meaningful, very intentional gates.
Can we swing by there?
I was going to also ask, would Tibbs know how long ago it was built? Or would I need to do another roll?
You can give me another local lore check
Lore.
if you would like to go to.
I got a nat one.
I'm actually really good at local lore.
I probably don't remember how old the
Yeah,
gate is.
You're a 3.
You've heard Tibbs being the bartender for the milk bar. You've heard wildly different accounts of it was built last year. It's like, well, I've been here for 10 years and it's been here since then. You've heard it from like the elderly residents of like, I don't know, I don't remember it from childhood, but I do remember it from 20 years ago. You have no idea what's true and what's not true.
More than 5 years, less than 30.
Can I do a local lore check?
Sure.
That is a 19. Well, no, it's a dirty 20.
Dirty
We
20.
add our level, right?
It's already added.
Oh, never mind. So it's a 19.
Unless it's wits based, in which you would add 1 because you have the glasses.
It is with
It is with space. So it is
you
a dirty
do have
20.
a dirty 20. Again, Phineas has seen the vast majority of the Verdant Isles. And you know that there are stories of this gate being here in Oakenbend for a very, very long time.
Okay. Cool.
And that
Do I know if it has any like significance beyond just being like a welcome, like any kind of like magical lore around it or anything?
not really any more significance than
Okay.
what Tibbs would have already told you.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, I relay that. It's very, very old. Cool.
I was just wondering that. I'm glad you were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, we're of the same mind, partner.
Did you want to go to the gate?
No, I don't
We can go.
think that's necessary.
I was thinking maybe we could look for the little kids, see what the kids know.
I think that's a good course of action.
They said they were around the winery.
That was yesterday.
Yeah. Well, we can kind of head to the vineyard. I mean, that
pretty
covers the
far.
south part of town.
Yeah.
Tibbs, you would also know that one of their parents, Thorn Pricklepuck, you would know where he lives.
I love Thorn. Yeah, maybe we'll just go to the Prickle Park house, see what if they know where the kids are.
Yeah.
Where's the
Not a
Prickle
bad
Puck
idea.
house?
I know exactly where it is.
Hey, Game Master. Where's the Prickle
Puck house? It's not good. Not an iconic landmark.
We're already walking there while our
Somebody
Game
give
Master
me a not
figures
getting
out.
lost check.
Ooh, I have really good not getting lost.
Oh, because you're mailman. I gave you.
That's only a 10.
That's a nat one.
Ooh.
Guys, I know where it is. But I forget.
I got a 17.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
We all follow Sage. Sage looks the most
We're like
confident.
going the opposite direction.
All of you guys go in different directions. Sage just kind of like flutters and it's like keeps going, and you guys are like, wait, okay, and turn around and follow Sage. So you guys walk up to Thorn Pricklepuck's, and you guys know he is a cobbler. He has a bit of a sad past. His family didn't really accept his chosen profession, and
Because none of us wear shoes.
and unfortunately, his wife, Rainia, fell ill and passed away several years ago. So he's got the kids, Sol and Anna. They're a little bit of a wily bunch, but he loves them very, very much. And he really loves the life that he's built in Oakenbend. So,
Is he outside? Or is he?
yeah, as you guys walk up to their home, you see Thorn, their parent, their father, just kind of tending to the garden, fixing things. And, it's kind of getting later in the afternoon by this point. And he sees you guys and he's like, "Welcome, guys. How can I help you?"
Is Thorn also a Finfolk?
Yes.
Okay.
So are the kids.
Well,
I
howdy,
just-
partner.
Cool.
We just we were actually looking for your little youngins. Just wanted to we heard that they had some tales to tell and wanted to hear
Do they ever? Keep me on my toes.
them. Yeah, I've heard they're a lively bunch, but you know, sometimes you need that kind of energy around. Out of curiosity, did they tell you anything about a Lavender Spirit?
Oh, goodness. did they ever? Although it is a better story coming from them. So he kind of like looks at the sun because he's not wearing a watch, and he's like, they should be getting out of school right about now. You know what? They're probably headed down to the river. You know, the kids, they love splashing around once the weather gets a little bit warmer, but the water is still ice cold. Especially Anna and Sol. They love it. So he kind of like wipes his hands off and kind of like walks you guys out. And you guys head over to the river. And you guys are chatting. Just ask him anything specific as you guys are kind of wandering towards the river.
Do you have any boots that go from land to water quite easily and will hold up for several years? I never really tried shoes, but I hear you're a good one to ask.
He grins because he's also a Finfolk.
Right.
So Thorn is like, do I? Now I've been working on this prototype for quite a while. The kids have tested it. I've tested it. But it would be fascinating to have a mail carrier such as yourself traveling about much more in and out of the water, in and out of land.
Let me tell you, I get my steps in.
Get your laps in.
That too.
And
For
he, like,
humor.
he has like this leather bag kind of around his shoulder, and he like moves it to his front and like wrestles through it and pulls out a set of boots that look like very polished, sealed leather, and they've got kind of like a tie around the top, so you can like put them on over your fin feet, and then tie them to whatever is appropriate to your leg width. And he's like, try these. You gotta let me know how they work, because I'd love any notes, any constructive criticism that you could provide. I'd love to keep prototyping these.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And then he slips them on. It's like when you put shoes on a dog and they're like,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of that, but he's gonna keep trying them out.
Give me a labor check.
Right. Phineas,
It's a 15.
does like everyone just always give you clothes when you go places?
People give me a lot of things. It's literally my job to give them what they ordered or what's been sent to them, but they're grateful nonetheless.
Well, you look great.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a very dashing man. I have a little mustache.
It's like a fashion show.
With a 15, you start with like, you know the videos of like dogs when they put like snow boots on at first and they're like, but you like pretty quickly fall into the rhythm of like feeling moves and stuff, like bend knee, leg.
Completely came out of Oakenbend there for a second. Went from Oakenbend to YouTube.
Took the immersion.
It takes you a minute, but you get used to them. And I don't know if you've ever really had shoes before, but it's a fun little sensation for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, my feet feel so held, secure, protected.
Thorn looks very excited.
All right, let's find these kids.
Okay, as you guys walk down along the path towards the river from their home, you guys spot two Finfolk children, Sol and Anna, and they're headed to the river after school. Sol is shouting guesses to what they think Lavender Spirit, as he's referring to it, is called, made up of, anything from it was a rainbow at night to it was a mysterious ghost to it was just a really big moth. Shouting guesses. Anna, as Sol is shouting, rubs her eyes and is sneezing a little bit. And it kind of looks like allergy season might have come early for her this year, right at the beginning of spring, before we've even had the feast. And you hear Soul say, "There's another one." And oh my goodness, is that one too? They're all over, Anna. The ghost has been so busy. And you see them pointing to a bunch of these mysterious plants along the path as they're walking towards the river. And Thorn kind of giggles to himself, and he's like, "Well, there are the kids."
Yeah. Which one is having the allergy there?
Anna.
I look at Thorn and I say, "Does Anna's allergies usually act up this much around this time of year?"
Not typically. Normally they're a little bit later, but you know.
Do you know what her allergy is to? Just general pollen, grass, ragweed, oak?
All of the above.
Oh, damn.
My poor darling girl.
I can relate.
Pollen.
Yeah. We've been.
Yeah, it's too early in the year for ragweed, grass, or oak, so those are fall allergies.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a pretty rough go of it from spring to fall, really.
Interesting. Well, hey there, youngins.
Hi.
Soul turns around. Is a little confused because he doesn't really recognize any of you.
Yeah, there's 4 adults standing around.
Then sees his dad, or sees their dad, and you hear about the ghost.
That we
Yeah.
I saw the ghostie myself. Okay? They were glowing purple. The ghostie planted the seed in the ground. They were floating in the air. I was too scared to go say hi, but I ran out to the garden first thing next morning, and I found all kinds of treasures, rocks, bones, and even the hills growing. Mama never let me go play by the flowers, though. We tried to put snacks out for the ghostie, but they never came back, and maybe they don't want to be friends. And Soul gets very solemn all of a sudden when they think they don't want to be friends.
Oh no, I'm sure the ghostie wants to be friends. It just sounds like the ghostie's pretty busy.
Soul kind of cocks her head a little bit and is like, yeah, adults are busy with things. What if it's an adult ghost?
Could be.
Could be.
And what about you, youngin? When did your sniffling start?
Anna's like wiping her nose.
It's a good one.
The flower, it smells so strong, you know? But it hasn't bloomed.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I haven't seen it bloom at all. And she looks pretty miserable with these allergies.
Now, you said it was this ghostie was floating. Did you see any wings or
Are you asking Soul or Anna?
both?
Soul kind of perks back up and is like, I didn't see any wings. It was just kind of floating around, you know, had the purple glow around it. Anna kind of says, I didn't see it. I saw a bit of purple glow, but like I didn't look at it. But I have been keeping all the doors and the windows locked. Even though I know that wouldn't stop a ghost. It does make me feel better.
Makes you feel better? Ain't nothing wrong with it. And then I'm gonna lean in a little bit closer and like whisper and be like, now I know y'all probably are out after your bedtime sometimes, huh? Have you happened to see a glowing rock at night anywhere? Something that glows kind of like the ghostie does.
They both like, give me a minding details check.
It's a 4.
They both
I'm getting a new D20.
No help action.
They both look at their dad and look at you and they're like, no.
All right. Thank you.
You mentioned the ghost might be an adult ghost. How big was the ghost? Did it look adult-sized or did it look little kid-sized?
Soul goes, oh my goodness, they were huge, and like falls back into the grass behind them.
Whoa, that big?
Even bigger.
Bigger than me?
Bigger.
Bigger than Adam?
Bigger.
Whoa.
That's the craziest ghost I've ever heard of.
Anna is like, yeah.
I pull a dried
Yeah,
leaf
it's like-
out of my backpack and I hand it to Anna and I say, "This you can use to blow your nose."
You should blow, not sniffle.
Oh, and at this point, Sage remembers she has tissues in her inventory.
Oh.
And she says, wait, you don't need to use a leaf. Actually, I have some tissues for you, which would help.
Anna's so excited. She takes like a handful of them, then starts like, I didn't think about this. This is a much better idea.
Don't forget to wash your hands.
And Sage would like to try again to talk to the kids about what they saw at night. And I know that this isn't something you're supposed to tell in front of your dad. If we can separate from him a little bit. I know it's a little scary to talk about, but did you see any glowing stones?
I started talking to their dad about the boots.
Yes.
Phineas, give me a charlatanism check.
That's a 5.
Oh. Sage does her beguile spell,
Ooh, okay.
which, yes, to distract the father to talk to everyone else.
So you'd like to cast Beguile on
Yes.
Thorn.
It says to check art skill.
I believe, yeah, so you need to do
Yeah.
some kind of performance. That you
Let's
probably have to
have
sing,
a
right? Or dance.
skill check for the arts.
14.
Yeah, so what do you do to distract Thorn as you're trying to talk to
Sage, with her beautiful wings, flies into the air and does an interpretive dance in the air in the opposite direction of the rest of the group so that they have time to talk to the kids.
Okay. Who would you like to discuss with the kids?
So, Tibbs, from out of his purse, pulls Misby's cookie that he brought from Lyman. He said, "Hey, I have a cookie here. Hey, so, is there anything you haven't told us? It'd be really helpful. We're trying to figure this out. I have a cookie here for you if you'd like."
Can I just have the cookie?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not awful, but also, like, if this could be a tit for tat thing, so, like, it'd be great.
Soul's like, what does tit for tat mean?
I just heard it at the bar one time. It felt to fit
What's
this.
a bar?
Well, a bar is where, like, adults just, forget about their feelings for a little while.
Soul looks incredibly worried.
Just here, here's a cookie.
Can I?
Soul takes the cookie and is like,
Can I take the wooden contraption out and can I get the sense that if I gave them this to play with, that they would get distracted and maybe become a little looser in
some occupational therapy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Might get a little just question that way.
give me a relish or charlatanism check. Or the arts. Whatever you like.
That's a nat 20. Oh, man.
Well, we,
Is that the first one? That's not the first one.
That is the first one.
Yeah.
we did not decide that we would honor nat 20s, but it's in my bones
Well,
to honor nat 20s.
Okay.
So you see Soul cookie in hand, just both gripping, kind of crumbling the cookie. Oh my god, how would you not want to feel your feelings? Your feelings are so important, and is very, very stressed. And then you pull out the little wooden puzzle that Sala gave you, what do you say to Soul?
I say, hey, buddy, it's okay. I just want to reassure you that you should always feel your feelings, no matter what. They're very important, and they will get you through quite a bit when you get older. This helps me get through my feelings. I'm a bit of a fidgeter, and I like to play and work with wood when I get really anxious.
Soul shoves the cookie in her mouth, and then like
I do that too.
Covered hands, grabs it from you very delicately, and is just like staring at it.
I couldn't solve it, but maybe you can.
What did I have you roll?
To solve that?
Yeah.
You said charlatan, the arts, or
No, for the wood
Focusing?
for the wood thing.
Would it be focusing?
No, I think it was relish.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Oh yeah, it was really.
Okay.
Shout out.
Because you're helping him,
Thanks for the narrative moment.
then I will let Soul roll with advantage. They get super close to solving it. You think to yourself, like, if you gave Soul probably like 3 minutes to just sit with this little puzzle, they'd probably figure it out. But they immediately become like very attached to it, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is so cool."
I give a look to Phineas and what Tibbs. I give a look to Phineas and Tibbs like, hey, if you're gonna ask any questions, you just ask like now.
Phineas, I'm terrible with kids. Like,
Yes,
maybe you or Sage
yeah,
can
partner,
ask the
you
right
shouldn't
questions.
encourage alcoholism, but
I'm still
all right,
dancing.
youngins.
Yeah, still dancing.
Yeah.
Do you have any adventurous tales to tell us about? Anything that happened, maybe once the sun's gone down?
That's a nat 20 on one of them.
Great.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets here for me.
So, Soul looks like they're gearing up to start going on another tirade of like just giving you way more detail than you asked for, but nothing that's like really concretely helpful. And Anna kind of puts her hand on their shoulder and is like, I have a sneaking suspicion that something happens to the flowers at night. Because they're planted at night. And we see them closed in the morning.
Oh, and they smell like they've been open.
Chew! She sneezes violently and then remembers the tissues that Sage gave her and is like,
Good job.
they do smell very strong.
So,
I don't know. That's just what I think. I don't know what happens, but it's what I think.
That's quite insightful.
Anna looks very proud of herself.
Can I cast Nudge? You said if he had 30 more minutes. Can I cast Nudge to help him finish it? Okay, great. Thanks.
I'm gonna have him roll again. I have them roll again. Yeah, I'll say that's high enough. As Anna has a moment to kind of sit down and reflect and kind of share that piece of information of what she thinks, Soul is still engrossed after she puts her hand on their shoulder, and Soul kind of you hear a short gasp, and they hold up the little puzzle to Adam, and they're like, look,
Did you do it?
I think I did it. And you see, put together, it's kind of like a little boat, like a little sailboat, when you put the pieces together when they fit properly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aw. That was a gift to me But you did all the work, so why don't you keep it?
Soul looks at you and like has never in their life been more serious. Do you mean it?
Yeah, you could sail it on the river.
Soul gets super excited and runs to the edge of the river.
Oh.
And Anna is like, hey, wait for me. And she turns around and runs after Soul.
Well, there go our witnesses.
Bye, kids.
My bad.
That was mighty kind of you.
Have fun.
They're like laughing already, kind of like giggling with each other,
That's
catching up
adorable.
with their schoolmates. and
What
everything.
time of day might it be currently?
It is late afternoon.
Okay. So still some time.
Thorn, sorry I gave your kid a cookie without asking.
Thorn finally
Yeah,
snaps
no.
of like being entranced watching this dance. I'm like, what? What cookie?
Exactly, what cookies? What? Anyway, hey, you guys want to, should we get moving?
We
Yeah.
have
What's our next destination? Where should
we have
check
daylight
out?
to
Check out
least
next. I don't think we'll be cracking any more
Okay,
of this
so-
flower till
an
nightfall.
artificer.
I have two ideas. One is clearly like we need to check out what's happening at night. And I don't know if we like stay by one of the flowers that's currently planted or we go somewhere that the flowers aren't yet to see like maybe the Lavender Spirit will show up. My other idea is we have some handwriting from this note we found in the library. You know, maybe we could find handwriting that matches, and maybe, you know, we narrowed it down to like probably an elderly person in town, right? Because the lake gate was built a long time ago, and this handwriting's from someone who saw it be built. So that's all I got. But I don't know what you guys think.
Somebody give me a daydream check.
So bad at daydreaming. That's a 9.
13.
18.
We should just let her.
Saves roll.
It's a special dice.
Those are the 2 dice provided by Snowbright Studio, part of the Teatime Adventure Pack, the box set. As you guys are kind of reconvening, kind of figuring out what you should do next, you see Ms. B comes like barreling down the pathway, and Ms. B is like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, you guys. Did you guys keep all the pages?
We have all the pages.
They ask you for the one with the personal journal to see it.
Here's right here, Ms. B.
So Ms. B, while they're looking at this, is like, I feel like I should know who wrote this. She had a flower name, something like Tulip or Daisy or something like that. Was anyone able to guess like where the books might have come from?
Not yet.
I could make a local.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we
roll
could
some
roll.
dice,
We could roll
but,
some local lore.
Ms. B looks very, very thoughtful and then is like, you know, I did hear that perhaps the Midnight Manor might have something to do with it. I'm not quite comfortable sharing sources,
Now, I'm not from around here, although I've passed through several times. What is the Midnight Manor?
I don't like walking by the Midnight Manor. I don't like it.
Is
Yeah,
it
it sounds
spooky?
pretty ominous.
Midnight Manor.
It's on my way to work, and I walk around it.
The long way. Okay.
The Midnight
I work here, by the way, and Midnight Manor's here.
Oh, so like, yeah, right.
That's how much I don't like the Midnight Manor.
Misby like pushes the glasses up on the bridge of their nose. Well, maybe 75 years ago, there was a family that purchased the property that was a tavern at one point and a restaurant, and they tore that building down and built a whole mansion in their place, and nobody really knows why or where they went, and they wound up leaving Oak Bend, and I don't know. They were involved in things here and there, like their kids had tutors and stuff like that, but they just kind of disappeared one day, maybe 5 years after the mansion was completed, and I don't know. Allegedly, the manor has stood silent and empty ever since, even though all the kids think that it's a little unsafe and spooky, and all the elders are kind of just avoid it. But Mayor Montesquieu would be happy to knock it down and replace it with something else, but I don't know. I think everyone's just kind of a little bit intimidated by such a big, empty building.
Seems like a lot of the flowers are popping up around the manor too, from the center of town to the walk.
Give me a minding details or a noticing check.
To notice now. 8.
There are a lot of flowers. There are a lot.
Would it be frowned upon if we went and had a look around it?
I don't know if I'm the person to ask.
Well, are the doors locked?
Ms. B looks at y'all, rolls a 21, and in fact, I don't know if they are.
Well,
And
that is
then picks up the books that they inevitably dropped on their way here, turns around, and walks back to the library.
Thank you, Ms. B.
Thanks, Miz.
Bye, man.
Well,
maybe Phineas, you just so happen to have a delivery to.
I feel like
might be.
the Midnight Manor needs some firewood too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a bartender. Maybe some emotional support.
Yeah.
Let's head on over.
I hate Midnight Manor.
It's
Now,
gonna be
Ms. B
okay.
said that only the kids were scared of Midnight Manor. So.
You guys don't have to look at it every day on your way to work.
Yeah.
All right.
Trot along. My brand new boots. Boots are made for walking.
So by
That's
this
just what
point,
/ swimming.
Gotta break them in.
at this point, the sun is falling a little bit, and as things kind of warm up and the light gets warmer and things get a little bit cozier as you guys approach the manor, you're met with the overwhelming sense that there is more to this manor than meets the eye.
I knew it!
And a very light flutter can be heard overhead as a tiny fuzzy bat crosses the colorful dusk sky overhead. And a large oak tree kind of dominates half of the yard in front of the manor. And there's ivy that kind of climbs up the corner from the tree to the manor, up the corners, and there are no lights on in the house. The windows themselves are all shut, and looks like there's like a layer of dust over everything on this house, and it has very clearly been a while since anybody lived here.
Didn't they say ivy was growing on the gate too? That might not mean anything, but
Can I use my Flora friendship to get information from the ivy or tree? Are they talking plants?
You can certainly roll for it.
No. 7.
The plants look like they have happily made their
Can I walk up to the door and like see if it's
Yeah,
unlocked?
give me a bustle check.
Bustle. Such a funny word. It's a 10.
You try to open the door. You don't know if it's locked, but it's definitely like stuck somehow.
Can I do a labor check to see if I can, like... First, I'm going to turn to everyone and I'm going to say, it appears to be stuck. Should I...
can I roll to see if there seems to be another way in?
Absolutely. Give me a...
If only I'd brought my moisturizer with me.
Give me a,
Maybe we could like
Grease it open.
grease it up. I know.
give me a minding details check.
I love the lore we've made around 21.
Oh my goodness. You, as Adam is trying to open this door, Phineas kind of
I do
looks
have my
around.
moisturizer with me.
I got in the boots.
Phineas looks around and notices one of the windows itself looks like it's unlocked. That's at the perfect height to just kind of pry open and hop inside.
Well, howdy, looky here, partners. We got a ready-made entrance.
Oh, that's much better than what I was trying to do.
Is the window like first floor, second floor?
First floor.
Perfect. Does it look dangerous if I go into this window right now?
No.
Phineas goes to the window.
We're just delivering mail.
I wave a
Citizens of
letter.
Oakenbend. Just really dedicated mail delivery person here.
I toss all my lumber, all my lumber through the window and
It's a
climb
felony to not deliver mail.
As you guys are kind of trying to shake this off, someone give me a charlatanism check.
in. Charlotte.
Very bad.
Me too. That's a 19.
That's a 19 as well.
Okay.
I only have a +1.
The fire chief, Von Mikrin, she is like walking down the path as you guys are kind of trying to shimmy this open. And she looks very concerned at first.
I wave the letter.
Sees Phineas waving the letter and is like, it's good to see mailmen and mail carriers taking their job seriously as a person, dedicated to civil service myself. And she kind of like readjusts her hat and
I
continues
tip
on.
my
Support the postal service. Small communities need postage.
Does anybody follow
Yeah,
Phineas in?
I climbed in
Sage
after.
follows her.
I'm ready to go into.
You feel
Let's go,
better?
guys. Let's all
Feel better
go.
about the
Yeah.
manor?
Well, I'd rather be in there with all of you than have you.
Sage is here for emotional support if anyone gets
Yeah,
scared.
there you go.
Thank you, Sage.
Okay. So once you guys all kind of tumble or fly or hop into the manor, the foyer itself,
I say it too.
seems like it's a later time of day than it is outside. Even though the sun is setting, it's getting darker. There are like dusky rays of sun shining through and like filtered slightly by the windows. Somebody give me a noticing snooping or minding details check.
So bad.
I got 18.
Ooh, you said what? What did you say? Minding
LOL, I got a
detail?
12.
Noticing, snooping, or minding details.
We're gonna go with minding details. I got a 19.
19 and 18.
Ball's rolling
Adam
up.
and Sage both notice that there's a cot in an adjoining room with a lantern next to it. And as you guys approach, you can tell that the lantern itself has recently been burned. The wax itself is tacky and still kind of warm, and the area directly around the cot is clear of dust, as well as a trail of small footprints along the floor.
Not a ghost.
Sage, does it look like somebody's been sleeping here?
Yeah, it looks like someone's been here recently. I'm also curious what color this lantern burns or is when it's lit.
Would you like to give me a... I'd say arts, relish, or snooping check.
I got 14 for snooping.
So that would be, you're able to light the lantern. As you light the lantern, you realize that the room that's adjacent to the foyer that you entered with the cot is actually a ballroom, and it's kind of large. And the light given off by this lantern shows these large lavender-colored drop cloths that are kind of draped over chairs and tables. Do you move any closer to them?
Yes.
As you do, dust bunnies kind of hop out from underneath the table, underneath the little drop cloths, and as they're scurrying for shelter, as they feel something be disturbed. Would you like to give me a fun friendship check?
7.
The dust bunnies scurry past you. Did anybody follow Sage?
I followed.
Want to give me a fauna friendship?
Mine is
Wanna know
0.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a 19.
So, they scurry past Sage, but as these little dust bunnies approach Adam realizes that these tiny little mouse-sized rabbits are very reclusive little creatures. They can't communicate, but they can be domesticated if you offer them a cozy, dark space to live in. Aww. Like a little coat pocket.
Yeah.
Or something that makes them feel like they're under furniture.
Can I pick them up? Or
Yeah.
okay.
18, sure.
Yeah, well I just opened one of my my flannel pockets and I just scooped them up and I just
Give me another fauna friendship check.
oh my god.
Are these like the soot sprites from Tavern?
It's just shaped like
bunny shaped.
but bunny shaped.
Bunny shape.
That's a 5.
I'm also picturing the dust bunnies from Big Comfy Couch.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, so they just come up to me. Is it like they are they're just drawn what is?
Yeah, like they don't run away from you.
Okay.
So as you scoop them, most of them run away. 2 of them happily hop into your little coat pocket.
Yeah. Is there some way I can? Well, I want to talk to them, obviously.
They can communicate.
Oh. Can I see where the others are running to? I want to see if they're drawn to anything or if they're just dust bunnies that are just running around.
There are a few that head to the staircase that go up to maybe a 2nd floor, and there are a few that go to another staircase that goes down that you can kind of guess is probably a cellar.
I look at them and I say, these dust bunnies seem to be going upstairs or downstairs. I don't know if they're leading us somewhere, but they certainly seem to be familiar with the manor.
I think I'd like to head upstairs because if the lantern was left cold or was left warm and whoever was staying here has something to do with the flowers, I'd like to get a glance out a window. See what I can see.
I'd like to go upstairs too.
Upstairs first?
I'd also like to go upstairs.
If you guys are going upstairs,
All right. So the staircase that you guys are approaching that leads up to the second floor has collapsed long ago. However, you can guess that hop tops and floor tops can probably get up there pretty easily.
All right, y'all want to head up to the second floor and we'll check out the cellar?
Yeah, I'll fly up. I'll fly up and check it out.
So flying, you'll automatically succeed reaching it.
I'm staying here. Like,
I'm too clumsy.
Okay, I've got this, guys.
The sage by yourself.
okay, Sage, I'll go with you.
Give me a bustle check.
You've
please.
got this.
Okay. I love bustling. 10.
Yeah, you successfully maneuver your way up kind of broken steps. And you guys are staying downstairs?
We're gonna go to the cellar.
Okay, so we'll resolve upstairs first. As you guys reach the top of the staircase, or what was the staircase, you realize the doors in the rooms on this second floor covered in dust. It includes a bedroom with a 4-poster bed, moth-eaten curtains, a art studio that's covered in dust that has a chalk set of pastels, and a sketchbook full of different drawings of flowers. And as you guys, what do you do with the book?
I would like to.
I rewound and then I was like,
Very
What?
Willy Wonka. Wait, stop.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
that.
I would like to compare the drawings to our pages.
Okay. Give me a snooping check.
And I was going to check for footprints before you were like, you guys look at the book, right?
Also give me a snooping check, actually.
I got an 11.
In 11, as you're flipping, you open the book and you see a flower that looks like similar to what you guys have seen throughout.
Oh, it's highlighted.
It's highlighted. It says bloom at nighttime.
Oh, don't show them.
Sorry.
We're downstairs. We have no vertical.
Okay. All right. I think we're on to
Shout
something.
down.
Can't jump.
This looks like it might be related, Sage.
What did you roll for your snooping?
7.
8 feet.
You are terrified.
Oh, yeah.
You're very overwhelmed at being inside the Midnight Manor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm scared. What does this mean, Sage?
I think that the person who did these drawings is the same person we found where they live. Or where they are.
What should we do about it?
I think we should take the information back downstairs to the others.
Yeah, I think Adam will keep us safe, right? He's got wood.
Yes. I think
I think he has a knife. He was whittling things. He has a knife. He's got wood. He has horns. We should go find Adam.
That is true. You're like
I am 8 feet tall,
right?
yeah.
You could have just laid down over the stairs and you could have just walked over.
Just vertical, just climb over me.
Pretty stocky.
So Is there anything else that I see in this room? I guess.
Not with a 7.
Okay, that
There's
was my
art.
snooping was the 7. Okay,
That's
There's
tough
for noticing
pastels.
things.
Yeah.
I think we found everything we
Cool.
need to know up here. I'm ready to fly back down.
Do you leave tips and dust?
No, Tibbs.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
How far into the cellar do you guys think you are?
I don't know. I don't think we're very cautious people.
Yeah,
I think we're just going.
I think I'm like fully hitting my head on the descending like
Oh my God.
ceiling, so I'm just kind of like
Your answers are probably going to
Yeah.
be a foot and a half.
I'm like walking kind of like this, and I'm like, Phineas, just can you tell me if I'm gonna like spear?
And step,
Oh,
step,
Okay.
left, right, left.
did you start with your left or your right? Okay.
Phineas just loves that he has shoes on.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
So the staircase that leads downstairs ends at a large stone door. What do you want to do? Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
It's unlocked.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, we open it.
So as the door is pushed open, this iridescent glow you see is emitting from the cellar. And the stairs.
Can I sneaky sneak once I realize that there's a glow?
Sure, give me
I'm gonna try as
a
well.
wall for coloring.
7.
I see you. I see you try and do it, and I like crouch really low.
My shoes are too new. I'm
Yeah.
like squeaking while I'm walking.
I'm like just a giant 8-foot tall.
Adam drops some wood.
Yeah.
Tumbling down the stairs.
Sorry.
The stairs themselves descend to this narrow path lined by dim glow shrooms.
Cute.
These mushrooms appear to be growing out of a thicket that's this leafy subterranean hedge that looks like it's been growing in this cellar below the manor, and the entire area, once the door to the cellar is open, is bathed in this very soft, sparkling purple light. And the glow shrooms themselves are a very dim source of light. What do you do as you approach this?
Do you think somebody's growing these?
I mean, I'm not a gardener, so I don't really know how mushrooms grow. But it does seem odd that they're glowing a bright purple.
Can
We've
I-
been hearing about a lavender spirit. I'll watch the door.
I'll tell you whether or not they're edible.
How slowly do you guys think you're moving?
Not cautiously
slowly
at
at
all.
all.
Do you think that they would have caught up to you at all?
I figured this was happening at the same time that they were doing there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we
they
probably spent
You
some time
probably-
looking through the.
You probably heard the crash.
Okay,
Um,
we're on our way there.
Oh.
I would guess.
of how unstealthy we were.
Yeah, on our way.
Dropped over.
give me a garden check.
That is a 19.
With a 19, you are looking at this hedge, and it looks like it's a base.
Hey, Phineas.
What's up, partner?
I think this is a maze. It looks like it's going somewhere.
Do you guys go in the maze?
I think we should probably wait for the rest of our party before we head off, but I think it's worth following.
Yeah. I agree.
You guys wait.
Yeah.
I just yell. I'm like, hey, I think we found something.
We found something too.
Meet us down here. Our thing is going to take a little while.
Okay. Sage, show them what you found.
We found the
Picture.
crystal night loan. And if you look carefully, the highlighting and
It's
stitching
the same.
matches.
Same as the flower. It was scary for you guys.
But you survived.
I mean, did I?
You need to go not feel your emotions for a while.
Tibbs, I can already see the bravery across your face.
So now
I
that
forgot my flask too.
now that the party has been reunited, what do you guys do?
Well, there's a maze we found. There's also mushrooms.
I think it's worth following this here maze if it was, grown here. It's probably worth checking out.
Am I able to fly over the maze to look at it?
But I wonder how sustainable it is to have a maze inside of a house.
Because it's underground? No.
No? Okay.
How much water?
Can Tibbs hop high enough to just hop over the
Katie's playing her first RPG ever, and she tries to break it.
I love it.
No.
Really in the spirit of it immediately.
That's like everyone knows. Like, how do I break?
That ruins the whole fun.
I shouldn't have someone that can fly. I feel like that.
It's so funny because I feel like it's like, can I just go over
Yeah,
there?
it's like the perpetual D&D debate of not letting
Yeah.
low-level characters be able to fly. Which
Yeah.
It's okay.
I have played Narracogra.
Yes. And I wouldn't let you do double damage whenever you're shooting an arrow from an elevated position. So.
What's an air coke?
Anyway, as you guys walk through this maze, it looks like there are no real dead ends, but you do come across. Somebody give me a noticing check or a mind and details.
It's a tragic 10. 15.
12.
You guys realize you're counting. It looks like there are like 5 of these gates made of this kind of softly glowing crystal. Gates. And
Yeah, we're just, I guess you're too focused on your boots. I'm too tall. I'm like not, it doesn't register that they're there.
And as you guys are kind of wandering through and like kind of going from corner to corner and turning and continuing, like third or fourth gate that you guys kind of turn the bend and see, you hear very soft whisper. Password. And it seems like it's coming from nowhere. And anybody can give me a gardening check.
It's a 13.
It's a 12 for me.
Luckily, you passed this.
No, beautiful.
Adam, you weren't like keeping up with what was going on, but as you guys round this bend, you hear this whisper, and you kind of look around and you see like the crystalline kind of gate things are blocking you from continuing down this specific path. And you hear this whisper. You know that the whispers are coming from the glow shrooms themselves that are lining the edges.
Guys, the mushrooms are talking to us.
I mean,
They're asking for a password. It's the mushrooms, I swear.
I've talked to some plants before, but it was always after I'd eaten mushrooms. So.
Yeah.
I want to hear more of this story.
We're decriminalizing activity in this world. There are no cops.
Phineas, like, you gotta come by my bar later and tell me more about this.
Absolutely.
Phineas has stuff from Alvin Green, like faraway stuff.
Oh yeah, I got the.
I grow
moving on.
I grow my own. I grow my own.
Start saying
If you ever need, like, I can give you like a big bag or like a little bag. It just depends. I prefer my tea, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to deliver some more mail to you, huh? Anyways, so these mushrooms. What are they saying?
Is that all they're saying? They're saying.
They're saying,
Password. Do we think it might be something in these highlighted pages?
You're very smart. Yeah.
Encourage, nourish. Spring, crops,
Do you
flourish.
say encourage?
What was that, Tibbs?
Did you happen to say encourage?
I think you should say it louder.
Excellent GMing. Yes, I say encourage.
Say encourage.
Andrew has very rarely been a player in the past several years, so it's very fun. Not that I'm actively.
I say all the
punishing
highlighted words, but I say encourage with the most emphasis.
Which one do you say first?
Okay, wait.
It has a number on it, but it's.
That was more of a thing. Just like which order of pages. Read out loud.
Which one do I say first?
Yes.
Which one should I say first, guys? Encourage,
Maybe the one on
nourish.
the personal notebook?
Okay, I say.
Crops.
As you say the word crops, the gate itself opens.
Oh wow.
As you, what do you guys do?
Wait, is that one gate?
One gate, yeah.
Oh, I wonder if the other words were in the other gates. There's 5 words and 5 gates.
Probably worth a try. What word should we try next? Is there a specific order? Can we just say whatever?
Let's
all
go
say
through
it
this
at
crop
once.
scared. I'm not scared at all anymore now that Adam's here.
I pat you on the back. That's a reach down. Yeah.
At least Tibbs goes to the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll walk
we'll
through
go
the
through the
gate.
crops gate.
You walk through.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are walking through the first one, you realize these kind of non-dead ends exist. You arrive at the second gate, even though you know that you passed it before, but you arrive at the second one. So you
Alrighty.
crop.
Crops. What would number 2 be? So we got the song.
It sounds like maybe it's a rhyme. Because nourish, encourage, flourish, nourish and flourish. Spring crops, spring crops, flourish.
Flourish!
Flourish.
Flourish!
The next gate opens.
Alright.
You go through it. Crops, flourish.
Same thing. You guys walk through this gate. You do start to see like these spectral kind of shadowy shapes that are glowing like a purple.
Like ghosts.
Give me a noticing check.
8.
You've rolled.
Can I
so
also
many
do
fours.
a noticing check?
You get a noticing check because right now Sage thinks they're ghosts.
It's a 7.
I'm gonna
Does
notice.
Phineas also think they're
Yeah.
ghosts?
Noticing so hard.
I noticed 18.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You kind of like not only are you a resident of Oak Bend, you're at the Milk Bar. You see lots of the residents
I'm right.
regularly.
The heart and soul of them.
You see some of these like weird, glowy, shadowy purple shapes are actually in the shape of various villagers.
Oh my god, guys. I think this is shape of villagers.
Like living villagers?
Yeah.
And give me a pure luck check. Just a flat roll.
Just me or all of us?
Just you.
8.
Nothing happens other than the fact that you realize some of these look like the shapes of villagers. Now, you can't make out details, but you know shapes of people that you walk alongside.
Well,
Crops.
glad they're not ghosts. Moving on.
I wonder where they're coming from.
You guys move forward.
Spring.
Alright, you continue forward. You get to a third gate.
I'm voting spring.
Yeah, I can spring.
Crops flourish.
Spring. Spring.
Spring.
The next gate opens.
Do you guys think we're saying these words in the right order? Or that the mushrooms are just trying to push things along?
Nobody ate any of them, right?
No.
I thought about it. I
They're
didn't.
talking to us now.
Who would be in the front leading the group?
I'm behind Adam.
I probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Phineas is like so steadfast with these boots, but I mean,
Yeah.
you were like right there at the front.
Yeah.
Give me a pure luck check.
Can I do a pure luck check? Because we said I'm also at the front of the group.
Yeah, Phineas is next to me.
This is 17.
Just as you guys kind of walk through this next gate, Adam is still very confused by these whispers he hears from these mushrooms. You look around and you notice one of these shadowy, glowy shapes, and you're like, that's in the shape of Tibbs.
I like went back and look at real Tibbs and then look back. Tibbs? I think I've found your ghost.
Oh my god.
Are you dead?
That's my ghost.
What?
What's going on here?
Can I pick a mushroom? Not Tibbs' mushroom, just in case.
Sure, give me a Flora friendship check or gardening check.
Were you trying to pick a mushroom?
Yeah.
You reach for one and it starts whispering very aggressively.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's scary.
Like almost indecipherable.
Okay.
So you just kind of like,
Yeah. Not messing with the whispering mushroom. Okay.
are you continuing?
Tibbs, why would does it look like Tibbs? Like it's just him. Like the ghost Tibbs isn't doing anything.
It's just like the shapes still.
So Tibbs kind of looks at it and is like,
Do I really move like that? You guys be honest with me, right? Like, do,
You're
I
much more
look, do I
graceful.
look that awkward?
No.
No, come on, Tibbs. I mean, no.
I mean,
Much
at least it looks like it's properly moisturizing its skin.
I agree. You have much
Incredibly
more,
glowing.
much better of a hop.
Yeah,
It's
much
kind
more
of-
fluid and
Thanks,
graceful.
everyone.
As you guys continue, you approach the fourth gate.
we gotta encourage and nourish.
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 The next gate opens.
I'm just gonna keep it in order. There's
Who's in the front now?
still us.
So if y'all give me another pure luck check.
It's a 12.
That's a 19.
As you guys are continuing, you see these shapes kind of in the distance and behind the hedges. You see a shape that looks like Sala.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. So it looks like it's only shapes of people who live here, who are actual residents. Why would that
Can we touch it?
correlate to
They're like
the
behind the hedges.
Oh, okay.
correlate to the mushrooms?
Here, guys, it has the same weird lump that Sala has. Have you guys ever noticed Sala's
I've never.
It's just look right there.
I feel like.
Look,
I feel like.
sorry, this isn't a
a real
time.
person.
It's just clear it's Sala because I can see the weird lump.
Do you guys continue?
Yeah.
Alright. You round another corner. You get to the fifth As you say encourage, fifth gate opens. You see a glowing. Who's in the front?
Unless y'all want to change it.
So the two of you.
Let's fix it. Solves it.
In the center of this path, behind this fifth gate, you guys find a small pendant that is a glowing mushroom
Oh. Communicate telepathically with fungi of all types for 15 minutes each day. That's crazy. I have glasses. You can take those.
I take the pen
pendant.
and I like. I feel like it won't fit around my neck, so I hang it on my antler.
Oh.
Yeah, like hang it on my antler. What do I hear?
Yeah.
Are you trying to talk?
I'm trying to talk to these. Well, I mean, I
Do you
don't.
say anything?
Hello. Hello.
Twist of the path to find what you seek. It's not what it seems.
Guys, these mushrooms are kind of cryptic.
I found mushrooms to be that way.
You've got to come out.
It's saying that the path is twisted. I'm gonna keep. Does anybody have any questions for the mushrooms?
Ask them why they project villagers.
What are these reflections, copies, images? Why are they of the villagers? We saw one of our friends, and he's right here.
Oh. She tried her best.
She.
Yes, she tried her best. She was no ghost. No. But just like you.
A deer?
A frog? Hey,
Can you ask them more about her?
Who is she? And when you say she's just like us, like me, what does that mean?
She's no ghost. She's no ghost.
Wait, so we've
She's
gone
trying
through
her
this.
best.
The last gate are we like?
Is it a dead end or?
Yeah.
Keep walking.
Oh, there's still more in front of us?
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep walking.
Keep walking.
So, as you walk past this fifth gate, it feels like you guys, the path kind of opens up into like a circle, and it feels like the center of this maze, and this long table is set with various paints and tools and different arms, legs, heads, body shapes are cut out of wood and leaning against the hedge kind of surrounding this path. Buckets of lavender paint are kind of sprawled across the ground, and this folio splattered with lavender paint sits at the end of one of the tables, or end of the side of the table.
And for that folio, my squeaky new shoes.
Is there still mushrooms around?
There's still like a very soft glow.
So she's an artist.
So you walk up to the folio. As you walk up to the folio, it is open. It's a small book that is open to a page. And you realize on part of it, it's written property of floor.
Folio.
Yeah.
Folio.
Okay.
You get the last, it's like a book.
Right.
And
So-
the page that you guys have from Miss B looks like it fits right in there.
So the first part was about a deerkin couple that was trying to find a place to live. They go to the moonlight stone, and place an offering. And it says the glow of the moon illuminated the snow, and all the crystal night blooms sprouting around the stone began to open. The center crystal in the center of each bloom shone bright, lit up by the moonlight. Marigold and Anya watched as the refracting light from the crystals danced in a beautiful flourish pattern across the town and then finally settled on a nearby hill. Anya trailed her hand over the flourish astra symbol carved into the side of the stone and thanked those who came before their wisdom. That's the place for their wisdom. That's the place, my love. That's where we planted our garden. The garden bloomed and flourished for many seasons, guided by Anya and Marigold and our ancestors. This is why our village gathers to celebrate the Feast of Flourish, to share our food with each other and those who have come before. And ancestors is highlighted. So, seems like we need to give an offering to the stone. See what happens with these crystal night blooms.
Apparently we had some... Sorry. I was about to say that in character, but I don't know that Tibbs would actually know this, but the only clue we have to an offering, right, is tortillas.
Yeah, tortillas
Yeah.
and tortillas and spiced sauce on the stone.
Do we have to go to the baker's?
Does anybody else have anything else to do in the center of the space?
What else?
What's the word that was highlighted?
Ancestors.
I say ancestors
There was
out
a
loud.
long table with
And look for a gate to open.
there was a long table with paints and tools and cutouts of arms and legs and heads and various body parts out of wood.
I want to look more at the cutouts
Yeah.
to see if that's what these figures are.
Somebody give me a snooping check.
17.
18, sorry. Math
So
took a
the
second.
tools themselves look like they're being used to cut out various shapes and sizes, obviously. On those snooping checks, you guys find a small bag of crystals. Somebody give me a gardening check.
That's all you.
It's a 19.
Yeah, you super open this bag, look at these crystals. You know they're not crystals. They are, in fact, seeds.
They just look like crystals.
Yo, I found some seeds. I like
Do you
pour
know
some.
what they are?
I pour some into my hand and I like show them to y'all.
They look like crystals.
I am getting the vibe that they can be planted.
Do we see any bones? I'm so confused about the bones.
Not right now.
I pocket the seeds.
You guys, what's y'all's next move?
Is there any way out of here?
I'm gonna do.
Same way you
Hmm.
So you said there are the carvings,
do. Yes.
and then there's what's glowing right now? The
The shrooms.
glow shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to I
want
want to take one of the carvings and put it next to a glow shroom.
like the carving of an arm.
Yeah, and just see like if the glow is a carving of like a life-size arm.
Mhm.
Okay. I just want to see like what it looks like when like the glow shroom is projecting on the arm.
It looks Chloe.
So it's not like casting a image or anything.
No, the glow shrooms have like a purpley light, so it's just kind of.
I asked them where the seeds came from.
Oh, she's trying her best. She's trying her best. That's why she checked out the book.
So, can you ask them if this person is trying to find the right place for the garden?
What name?
I don't know. The one they're talking about.
Isn't the name
Oh.
of the bag? You checked it
Oh,
out?
yeah. Grania Nixie.
Okay, full question.
What
Is
tips
Granny
now?
and Nixie trying to find the best place for a garden?
I asked that question.
The best place?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's trying. She's trying her best.
Would Tibbs know that name? Or
Give
do I
me
need to
a
roll for
luck check.
Luck or local lore?
Just
for real.
10.
You know There's somebody in town by the name of Grania, who is a visitor.
Grania?
Grania Nixie. And you know that you think she's
I don't know what book it is.
that she's from the Southern Marches, which is just a town further away.
I think I heard recently that somebody named Grania came through town.
It says property of Flora. Sorry, I totally missed that earlier.
Who was it that mentioned someone by the name of like a flower name
Yeah.
earlier? Also, I just realized that this person in the couple is Marigold, which is a flower.
Can I ask the mushrooms one last thing? You said something about a hill, right?
Yeah. The moonlight stone is on a hill.
First, Tibbs, do you know of a hill?
I think it's Memory Hill.
Is there a place called Memory?
Yeah, I'm from Oakenbad. Everybody knows
Yeah.
Memory Hill.
That's great. I asked the mushrooms, did she go to Memory Hill? Swear to God, mushrooms, if you say she's trying her best.
I'm sorry, I keep rolling poorly.
No.
She tries her best while she's here.
Okay, so apparently she's trying her absolute best. Thank you, mushrooms.
I
Would love to
think-
put them in a tea.
I believe that this Memory Hill sounds like a good next stop for us.
Yeah.
We don't have any offerings though, and it is the middle of the night.
Well,
Unless we want to do another B&E at the bakery.
that's when they said they were gonna grow, right?
Right. Yeah.
Does anybody know how to make tortillas?
No.
No.
I know how to garden.
But Adam is right. We should head upstairs anyway just to see what the flowers are doing now.
And I have these seeds,
Oh, that's
so
true.
if any chance we could experiment.
Well, I guess if we waited till tomorrow, we could go to Braid Blue and ask the baker for some tortillas.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the thick of it. I don't think I'm sleeping tonight.
Oh, man. I'll go where you
Into
go,
the thick of
Adam.
it.
All right, where are y'all going?
Back up
Back upstairs.
Okay. And after that,
and out the window.
So we're outside.
Uh-huh.
It's nighttime.
Looking for a flower.
somebody give me a nursing check.
11.
Guys, there's a flower!
Rolled a 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
These flowers are fully open, blooming, and glowing.
Okay, are
Oh my
they? Is
And on a 20, I will say, when you're looking, you can see that they're actually planted in lines.
okay? Yeah, I was gonna ask, is there a beautiful flourish pattern that dances across the town? Does it
Very
settle on a
much.
nearby hill?
Is it?
So do they lead?
Guys,
to
I think it's
Memory
leading to
Hill?
Memory Hill.
There are like little glowing spots that lead to Memory Hill, yes.
Let's go to Memory Hill.
So
Good. I'm glad they're leading somewhere because, oh man, guys, I was getting lost here.
so
We're
on your
trying.
way to Memory Hill, perched above the village is this lovely little hill where starlight almost always shines down. And there are marking stones and small crypts decorated with flowers and trinkets that line the path winding up the hill. And some of the stones look like they've been here for a long time. Some are so old that plants have started to grow over the stones themselves and partially obscuring the names. And a peaceful feeling kind of washes over you guys as you ascend the path to the top of the hill. On the edge of the woods, one of the overgrown stones kind of covered, much, much taller than all the others can be seen, and a figure kneels by the stone with these huge, great, elegant antlers covered in flowers that crown the top of their head.
I don't want to scare them off, but I think this is our ghosty.
Anybody can give me a local lore check if they'd like.
What?
Local lore. It's a 19. Which is funny.
Adam just came up from further south. You recognize a deerkin elderly woman with a bunch of flowers in their antlers as a woman known as Floor of the Southern Marshes. Her eyes very curiously glow with this pretty lavender, and she looks like she's just, watering the plants and growth around this particular tall stone.
Ma'am?
Oh, hello.
Hi. Does your name happen to be Miss Floor?
Indeed it does. Every spring since I was a little girl, the whole town would gather at the top of this hill to watch and welcome in the flourishing season. The candles that we would light lined the village in the shape of the Flourish Astra symbol, and the cakes that we would bake, oh my goodness, they were delicious. I wrote my journal about it every year. It's just a memory now, I'm sad to say. Time takes so much from us sometimes, but at least we still have the feast. And look, the flowers are blooming again all along the river. They're very beautiful.
My name is Adam. These are my friends, Phineas, Sage, and
Tip my
Tibbs.
I'm Tibbs.
Hello.
We've been pretty interested in these flowers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in town have been kind of wondering where they came from. And we've been kind of trying to figure that out ourselves. Do you have anything to do with them?
I wish I did. It's been a long time since I've seen any of these flowers grow. And I've been in a new home for about the last 80 years. But I felt the need and the calling to travel back to Oak Bend just one last time to watch a final welcoming of spring come in from the mountains. My next question is, who has the book that was found in the center of me? Where do you have it?
Probably just holding it, honestly, in my hands. In my fins.
She does not see it.
Well, I was gonna say, ma'am, I'm mighty sorry that so much has been lost to you, especially such good memories. We did happen to find maybe one page of what might be your journal, and I don't know if I have it, but hand her the page.
She sees the page. She's like, "Oh my goodness! Were the rest of my books also there?" I wound up donating the last of my collection recently because I felt like there's important historical context to Oak Bend from when I was very, very young. And I'm much older now, but I wanted to be able to preserve history as much as I could.
That's a mighty noble goal. We sort of found a variety of pages, really. There was a little bit of a mishap at the library, but we did find this Legends and Fables of the Bend of Oak, and a certain tale about making an offering at the moonlight stone and making all the crystal flowers bloom.
So you found it?
Yeah.
Have you guys been the ones planting?
Well, no, we found it. We kind of found
You're
all this
not the one planting?
following this path. Yeah, we assumed it was you. That was kind of the running theory.
What?
I pull out the seed. I pull out the like seeds.
As you see the spark of recognition in her eyes and like a joy kind of on her face, a sudden, very bright violet flash happens before you guys, or behind you guys. And all of you turn around to see that the crystal blooms were like open already, but like have kind of collectively, right as the sun went past and like the full sunset kind of faded, flashed in this beautiful bright lavender, and there's a shining pattern to the flowers. And the blooms go from like the library to Willow Park to the river, illuminating what appears to be a Flourish Astra symbol. And you turn back around and you see that Floor is gone. And in her place, you find a final crystal night bloom and wreaths of flowers that hung across her antlers, that are along the stone that she was next to. And next to the flowers, you see a pen with a purple highlighter next to it. And you hear someone shout to the side of you guys, "Oh, my lilies, not again." What do you guys do?
Right. Okay. First, Tibbs panics and he creates a puddle by accident. He's such a magic. Just totally just creates a big puddle on the ground. And that's his only response.
Yeah, Phineas jumps out of his boots because he jumps so hard. But yeah, turns around. See you standing.
Sage turns to see the person who exclaimed.
Does anybody walk towards the sound?
Yes.
Sure. I pick
So-
up my boots so that I don't leave them behind.
As you guys calm down a little bit and turn off of the hill, more like in the forested area, you guys just come upon a small little one-room cottage with a withering garden out front and a bunch of recently emptied plant pots are piled on this bench alongside the house, and there are wind chimes that are casting, noises and songs through the air. And you hear the voice again, "Oh, fiddlesticks and lotus stems," as a hop top bursts out the front door with a broken spell bottle in her hand.
Well, howdy.
Does Tibbs recognize this person?
You know it's Grania.
Oh, it's Granny. Okay.
Granny?
Oh, I'm so sorry for all the noise. I wasn't expecting visitors. Please, come in. And she
Property of Floor because she donated it and then Granny had checked it out.
opens the door to you can see she's like visibly really intense. She asks you guys to come in.
Okay.
Let's go in.
Yeah.
What do you guys say to her as you guys walk in?
Thank you for inviting us into your home.
Yeah. Should probably start there.
What happened again?
Ma'am, I think I might have something that belongs to you.
Oh, what is it?
Well, it's a very interesting fable that talks about some crystal flowers.
Oh no, did you find my book? Please don't. I was only combing the library for ways to help my plants grow when I found this book of old stories, and I got the idea to tell the stories of the feast, and one was even about the Flourish Astra sign, which I thought was perfect for the feast, and I read more, and it was all about making the harvest grow and the gardens grow strong and beautiful, and the flowers in the story reminded me of these old seeds that somebody had gifted me several months ago on my various journeys, and I wanted to surprise the village, and I wanted to do something special, and so I planted one to see what would happen, and it grew. It grew very strong. And I've never seen a plant of mine grow like that before. And you know, like, based on the plants outside versus the crystal plants she was planting, she was very impressed with herself that these crystal plants bloomed as well as they did.
Wait, so Granny, have you planted all the flowers in town?
Not all the flowers.
I mean, come on, Granny, you can tell me.
Best secret keeper in town.
I wanted it to be a surprise with magic tricks and mystery, and I wanted to make a good impression on all the villagers here since I am a visitor, and I made these wooden cutouts of all the villagers, and I wanted to use them and use as puppets from the story that I wanted to tell. And I thought if people knew that I was planning to perform, I'd get nervous and then the performance wouldn't be as good. So I did hide, but I didn't mean to scare anyone. But now I'm in too deep, and if I let anybody know it's me, they'll all be so upset. And I have one more seed to plant tonight, so the flourish symbol can cover the whole town, just like the story. Then my performance will be extra special, and the planting will go so well, everyone will forget that I was lying. I don't mean to be a bad friend, I promise. I wanted this to be special.
Have you been staying in the manor by any chance?
I've gone in a few times.
You've been you were just trying your best.
Yeah, I was trying my best. I mean, if you guys have any input on what I should do next, I'll listen. I'm just so worried everyone will be upset now.
I couldn't help but notice, like, you excellently captured Sala's lump. Like, do you think you should get that checked out, though? Like,
now, I think Sala's business is enough.
obviously.
Listen.
Sorry,
Did you grow a maze?
yeah, what? His question's better than my question.
I didn't grow it. The maze just kind of happened.
Did you plant the mushrooms?
Maybe. But again, I'm just trying my best, and it was the best place to work. And I could be, secluded, and it was quiet, and I wanted some place to make sure that this was extra special.
Granted, I don't think any of us here are upset with you.
And honestly, I don't think the town would be either. I think things just kind of spun out of control because people didn't know what's going on, you know?
People are scared.
Vacuum
not
of
me, I'm not
information.
scared.
No. Tibbs has been brave
Tibbs
this
is
whole
the
time.
bravest, yeah.
Bravest person I've ever met.
Do you think I need to apologize to the town
Well-
on the feast?
I think
Well,
maybe you plant that last flower. Make sure that this whole thing becomes complete. But in the morning, maybe you give people a heads up before everything starts glowing tonight. Or the next night.
She looks very thoughtful and is like, I think you're correct. I think that's a plan. That's a good plan.
It's a mighty
I
nice
think you
thing you're
need to
trying
do something before the festival because people are talking about not even having it.
Oh,
Yeah, we definitely need to let people know.
You should go talk to the mayor first thing in the morning and
in the morning?
give him some of your skin moisturizer. Your skin looks amazing, but the mayor.
Do you think she offers you guys, like, after she's like bustling around nervous a little bit, she offers her cottage to let you guys stay the night since it's already pretty late?
I am very tired.
Can
Yeah.
we stay and go with you in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, I
I
would love
things
that.
over.
I would love that so
Sage
much.
can be your moral support.
Yeah.
Yes. We can tell you we're doing something nice for the whole town.
She looks so relieved and is like, oh my goodness. Okay, let me make you guys a warm cup of tea for bed, and I'll get everything set up for you guys. So you guys kind of keep chatting with Grania as the night goes on. One by one, go to sleep. As you finish your tea, and she's kind of bustling about in the little kitchen. And then the morning comes, and who do y'all think is the first to wake up?
I'm used to staying up late, so probably not me.
I
I'm a mailman, so yeah, probably. I'm probably up pretty early.
I also probably wake up really early to like chop wood.
You guys wake up very early. You see Granny is already awake, already bustling about, and she's like, "Good morning. I just wanted to double check. Are you guys okay coming with me to apologize? I don't want to make you guys feel like you have to, but I would appreciate the support."
Honestly, with a story as crazy as yours, I think you're gonna need some corroboration.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. As you guys are chatting,
I was gonna ask if she has breakfast.
oh yeah, no, she like made pancakes with a bunch of berries.
I have maple syrup, so I'm gonna take it out of my satchel and pour it on the pancakes.
As everybody wakes up, as breakfast is finished, it is the day the festival is supposed to be happening, and there's a quiet hesitancy through the town as you guys make your way down Memory Hill into the center of the village. And Granny turns to you guys. Who should I talk to first?
Probably the mayor first, because he probably knows who to talk to keep this whole jamboree from getting canceled.
Mayor Montesquieu.
So she heads to the town square thinking that he'll be there. And she's like, you know what, this is good. I'll be able to set up for my performance, and I'll be able to apologize, and everything will go great, and the Feast of Flourish will be fantastic. And as she's kind of rambling to comfort herself, you guys arrive at the town square, and she finds the mayor and like a group of like the young twins and Torin and Sala and like just various other elders. And she walks up and she explains the situation, and you guys are helping explain, like give corroborating
There
story.
were mushrooms. They were talking. Sala
There was
had
a maze.
actually.
And I wasn't scared.
And Tibbs was never scared, not even a little bit.
No.
Soul runs up to Grania and gives her a hug and was like, I was never scared. And Anna wouldn't have come if you guys hadn't given her tissues to help with her allergies, to breathe a little bit easier. And as a gift, she gifts the group of you plus Grania little tubs of peppermint lotion to help with allergies or things like that.
Is it moisturizing lotion?
Yeah,
Oh my
it
God. This is.
I was thinking like Vicks. I was like, I don't think you
Yeah, I was thinking Vicks too.
Torin, you can see, looks like visibly disappointed as he was
I lean
fooled.
over. If you write a story about a ghost, I won't tell anyone it's not true.
I probably will. I don't know.
You hear as Grania is apologizing to Torin that she was dressing up in those drop cloths to try and hide her identity at night. But she was carrying the crystal, so it looked like she was glowing. And she didn't realize what she looked like until she heard it in town. And Torin feels a little better, and she asks him, like, well, what was your side of the story? And Torin, of course, gets very happy to share and continues. And the town is celebrating, like, at this point in full-fledged of the Feast of Flourish. And Grania announces that she'd like to lead the village up to the top of Memory Hill, carrying the lavender cutouts and singing traditional songs that she learned from the books that she found from Flora's collection. And as the day gets later and evening kind of arrives and the crystal night blooms start to open just a little bit, it looks like the town is blanketed as the petals kind of start to fall from the crystal night blooms, and the moon rises just a little bit, and there's this beautiful pattern of the flourish, and a very warm wind blows through Oakenbend. As you all know, the harvest for this year will be very plenty and bountiful. Is there anything that you guys would like to do?
I'm gonna dance.
Yeah.
Dance?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Dance my new boots.
Yeah.
As you're all dancing and the night gets later and it feels like the town is glowing more and more, you see this figure at the center of the Astra symbol
It's a floor.
that looks like a very tall deerkin woman with petals falling from the shadow and shimmers that she has, and you all hear on a whisper of the wind of good harvest this year, Oakenbend.
Aww.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! That was so cute.
That was so cute. Wow.
It's so nice playing a tabletop where I can just open a door and everyone
Yeah.
will die.
Yeah. It opens.
You were even like, oh yeah, she gives you tea, and I was like, the tea is poison.
Yeah.
Roll for initiative.
I was really.
It's not like when a hod stoked the fire and almost died.
Yeah, I was hoping at any second I was like, in this maze, something's gonna close and lock behind us.
That
Aw.
was really cute.
That was really cute.
I love all the skills and everything. Like, not
sheet is
getting
amazing.
lost. That's adorable.
We were very quickly enamored with this at Gen Con.
Yeah,
so cute.
yeah. Well, I
No,
watched
no.
the little YouTube video on the Kickstarter, and I was like, "Oh, this is
I
this
was
is wholesome."
I was enamored by the dice. Andrew was like, "Oh, how much money? Here, take it. I want the box." And I was like,
That's so
I just
cool.
liked the tea leaf dice.
Yeah, these are cool.
Yeah, and they served
Cute.
well.
Wow.
Yeah, this is really
They had
good.
recipes
That's
inside
Teatime
the rule
Adventure.
book, and I was
Love
like,
it.
"There's recipes for baked goods in this rule book. I gotta get it."
Yeah. That's a winner. for
Yeah,
sure.
that's great. That's amazing. Aw.
Oh, very
I wonder if like
cute.
frame this. It's
Yeah,
so,
I'm
like
taking this.
it's so pretty.
Shout out to
With my
Andrew.
little guy,
I
my little
know.
Phineas.
Because I
The
filled it out on
mailbox.
Adobe Acrobat, and then I sent him the files, and then he completely redid them. And I was like, that's
I just dropped it into Illustrator and
I hate it.
made it look pretty good.
Well.
wow.
That trumps everything Kat's ever hated. If you tell me you hate Adobe,
I have to use a PDF editor all the time for my job, and we switched from a really good one to Adobe. Just, I guess, for what we do.
Acrobat doesn't do much.
No.
That's true.
And thank you guys all so much for playing. That was so much fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was fun.
So much fun.
Mike.